Hey guys. Okay, so I just wanted to say that I know you're reading the title, and no, it's not a joke. It's really true. I am Jesus. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because sooner or later it was going to come out, and I believe that the reason why I have not been 100% monetized yet because I have some very good videos, some very good content, and I believe that YouTube had put a hold on my videos becoming exposed because they wanted to protect me. And it makes perfect sense because there were once I had gotten a few exposures about my Instagram, I started to experience a lot of cars come by, a lot of paparazzis would see me whenever I would catch the bus and I wasn't driving. Even when I was driving, I would see cars and paparazzi snap photos of me, take videos, and they would be literally everywhere. Now I had to hide, but now some of them were disappearing, and now there's like they're still surrounding me, but it's all for protection because there are many people um, who know who I am now. And in the book of Revelations, which some of the information inside of the Bible was taken out of other larger texts that had all of the deeper information about what we would be experiencing in the future because everything was played out. And what they did not truly mention all the way that Jesus would already be here on earth. He wasn't just going to come down from the sky from a great horse like the Bible depicted it would be. In a sense, we had to code everything because it was decoded. Jesus was already here. Jesus came in 1992. That was the year I was born. Okay. Um, Jesus was going to have the image of a regular person, just like Jesus, the the other Jesus was in the Old Testament, and in the New Testament, because Jesus rose on the third day. So before he was sacrificed on the cross, that was the Old Testament. The New Testament was after he sacrificed his life on the cross and he rose on the third day, and he was able to still go about the day the days and the years trying to share the gospel to everyone else. Um, I had no idea that I was Jesus. I had no idea, and there were people telling me that there was something special about me, there was something different about me. They haven't seen anyone else like me before, and I haven't either. That's why I always felt like I was different, and I didn't fit in anywhere. And unfortunately, there were some people who were already into astrology, um, alchemy, um, scientifically studying architectural designs that were related back in Jerusalem and things like that. They were interested in, gospel related things also. And people were um, interested in anything that had to deal with the book of Enoch, and of course, I believe I just said alchemy, and the Emerald Tablets. And they all have a lot more information than the Holy Bible. But some of that information is also there, but really and truly, the Emerald Tablets in the book of Enoch basically breaks down the Holy Bible. It's a lot larger, there's more information, and the Holy Bible was just an easier text for people to understand because a lot of things in the Emerald Tablets And in the book of Enoch, you had to decode because there were a lot of symbols and things like that that were written from ancient history lifestyles, and people were still studying and focusing and observing the way life is today has been in the past, and everything was connecting. And Michael Jackson, that's why I have MJ on my social media and my YouTube name, because Michael Jackson was saving the world from destruction. It was going to continue to go on and on and on. Um, Even though some of the things continue to happen, because Jesus said in the Bible, um, if you let other people know about my word, you will heal many people. You will heal many people. And knowing that if you share the gospel to one person, you can change him for a lifetime. Now, if you have the privilege to gain access to millions in the whole world's attention through your music, then you can either use that category to continue to degrade and confuse and make other people feel like, violence and things like that is going to heal a mass group of people, or you can use your gospel and put it in your music and talk about encouraging and feeling special and feeling safe within your music by adding the gospel. You can either do that and change the world. Well, Blue comes in because Michael did do that. And he talked about healing the world, saving the animals from going in the slaughterhouse and killing them and eating them. Michael was a vegetarian. His family was a vegan. Um, there was another reason why he did not go to church, because some of his family members were Jehovah's Witness. They didn't even go to church because why go to church in America when you're praying for change, when America is the system itself to change it? So you're going to church to just pray, but what are you going to do? What about doing something? What about stopping the animals from in the slaughterhouses from getting killed? What about that? You know, what about the prisons? What about the people going to jail and being locked up? What about just having everyone know about the gospel and not having any distractions to keep people from doing things that's going to take away their attention on the right thing? You have so many distractions out there that's keeping people wanting to do the wrong things, and then they get in trouble and locked up for the rest of their lives. And then that's not a good system to go to church to and pray. Because if you go to a church and you pray for under it, that's inside the same country as a system that's allowing the church to be there, then what's the use of praying when they know what the problem is? You're still going to church. It's like, where is the help? Not saying that prayers don't help, but where is the main help? So Michael was fed up with that. So he was blue, because here we are. God has blessed Michael with the opportunity to use his platform to give the gospel, and not to mention Michael Jackson has been given the gospel throughout his music for a very long time. At first, he was given the music through the God, and the gospel can be given many ways, but Michael was giving his gospel through the music by not saying go out there and kill, go out there with sleep with a whole bunch of people, go out there and rob a bank. And he didn't talk about that. He talked about going in, getting in love with, having a relationship and keeping it and being in love with someone. Or he'll talk about family things and staying with your family, and um, just being in love with someone. And then as he got older and he started to, become more solo, he focused on songs that were about love, deeper love. And when he was a child, he was already talking about deeper love. So that's how you can tell when someone is anointed. It's because they have a deep spirituality about them at a very young age, or at any age. But he had it at a very young age, and that's Jesus. That was God speaking. And each century that we have, we're given a God to set order, because that's why they say the world does not move without black creativity. And Michael was black, and it's through you melanated people. Other people help, but the real you melanated people come from Egypt. The bloodline comes from Egypt, where Jerusalem is in Africa. This is why it's very important. God has given us a God each century. So Michael Jackson died. Um, they called it Escape. His last album was Escape. So, you don't have to believe that he truly died. I'm just saying, but anyway, um, so Michael was able to be the God for this time and age and that time and age also. Um, so what people didn't realize is that his name, he considered himself, he made a song with Akon called Blue Gangster. And he's blue. And if you look at my Twitter or my Facebook, I would go to my Facebook and you would see a blue star over Michael Jackson's eye. And he considered himself a blue gangster. He considered himself blue because he felt blue. He felt betrayed by a system who needed the gospel, because God said, share this gospel and people will be healed. If you cannot do anything about it, which Michael has donated plenty of money to help charities and the people throughout the United States. He has done plenty. We all know that. But he has done the thing that God told him to do. If you cannot physically help everyone, help one person. Or if you can't just do that, share the gospel and touch these people. Now, he could share the gospel through his music and heal millions and billions of people. And once he's giving you the answers in his gospel music about heal the world, stop destroying the animal, Earth Song, and things like that, the biggest selling album of ever in history, that gives everyone's attention. That gets everyone's attention. So by you to do something creative and just say, okay, I got everybody's attention, I'm going to give the gospel so everyone could be healed. Then Michael started to heal people. He's been healing people before he started putting the gospel in his music, before he got really deep in sharing the gospel. This is why my people would pass out when they see Michael or touch him and they feel healed. People just wanted to touch him and they feel a lot better because it was God. And that's why he felt blue, because people were still slaughtering and killing animals every single day. And we are supposed to be eating fruits and vegetables and eating natural foods to heal us. So it was almost like, who's stopping people? Who's stopping us from having good health? Who's stopping us from having people know how to live the righteous way? It was the Confederate system. They were stopping us from doing that. And this is Thriller because he told you the gospel. And the gospel was telling you through Thriller, the song, that which was code for Revelations. Okay, you can keep ignoring the gospel, but when Revelations get here and Jesus returns, everything's going to have to change. Now you see a lot of people who are in CEOs, like the CEO of Amazon, the guy stepped down. A lot of people are coming down. They're stepping down from the positions, the higher positions. Why? Because that was causing the world to be distracted about the gospel so that people can live the life that they need to be. You know, how in the world can you have how in the world can you have certain systems to just trigger people and manipulate them and get them to think about something else other than what's good for them? And I'm not saying that Amazon is not good for people to get things delivered to their house in a quicker way. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there are other things in the world that matter, and people want money and it's just greed, but we can use that time to stop the animal slaughteration and provide vegan food for people. Okay? For God's sakes, yes, Amazon would share food, groceries, and other things. But what about, some of the food that they were sharing that or sending to people would be, working through another company. Oh, we got a meat product here coming from this company. We don't know who's going to send it, so we'll just use Amazon. You're still helping the system carry meat from places that are doing harm to animals. You see? So the people who are in a lead of these companies, they are stepping down from their higher positions. Why are they stepping down if they did nothing wrong? That's because they know that they were taking part of something that God said not to take part in. So now everyone is starting to reevaluate the way that they see things and live their life, because that is the old society system, which was the Confederate system, has caused some people to think that that is the way of living. That is the right way of living. Eating meat is not the right way of living. A lot of people have heart disease and high blood pressure, and they're obese, and they have different diseases and all type of things, and it's all because of what we are consuming. That's all. It's so easy. It is not hard. Now, why is it so hard for people to not want to do the right thing? What is so hard about that? Because they had a system that was controlled around the love of money. And that's why they say money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. And because we know that fruits and vegetables and the herbs that grow from the ground and from the trees are going to be the ones to heal us, why would you provide medicine like pills with chemicals in it? Why would you provide things like giving people a shot to take? Why would you give things like, why would you still have a slaughterhouse of animals being slaughtered and killed and then worry about people having certain health problems? Why? If it's that easy to grow crops instead of having an animal slaughterhouse, so what is the big deal? That is the big deal. The Confederate system. And I wanted people to understand that, first of all, I had no idea that I was Jesus. I didn't know I was Jesus. I knew there was something very special about me, and I never imagined myself dying. I never imagined myself experiencing, the end of the world and Revelation's coming. I never thought about those things because I'm always thinking about life. I'm always thinking about that. And if I do think about that stuff, it'll be like for a few seconds or maybe a few minutes, and then that's it. But I don't constantly think about that. That's how you know that that's not in the plan for God for me. And the entire time, I had no idea that what was presented to us in the Bible about Jesus returning was a story. First of all, I had the idea that Jesus would come from a great horse, a big white horse, with a sword, like it said in the Bible. But what really happened is that it also said that he was going to come like a thief in the night. and the pandemic was pretty dark, and they're calling this the dark winter. And I knew I was different, but I also knew other people were different. But I knew it was something about me that was tremendously different. And some people knew were. What's funny is that some people were looking for Jesus. They said, Jesus is here. We have to find him. Some people were looking for him, and he was here. He was me the entire time. He is me. Jesus is me. And I was surprised. I was so surprised, and I was so shocked when I heard it. I felt so good, but at first I said, so what's going to happen now? Now I can get saved from this regular world and go somewhere else where I can enjoy my life. Well, I can enjoy my life wherever I am. And it was very hard for me to continue to be at a workplace knowing that it wasn't, but for other people who were ending my assignment or not keeping me at work long enough or making me want to walk off of work caused me to have a hardship because they didn't know how to treat people. And then I was up against people who I thought that, I was lazy for not going back to work, or I didn't want to work. And it really, hurt me because here I am demonstrating everything that someone would want in a person. I just found it impossible for someone not to believe if I was telling them what had happened to me at work and why I chose to leave. And the same patterns that I would be experiencing at work, I still decided to stay until I got fed up and said I need to find another way to make an escape. And that's when I came to YouTube. And this is why I think YouTube, I've been making videos, and I understand you need a very good camera to make your videos with, and you need, a lot of, lighting and things like that. That is very good to have. Um, but I had very good content, and they've been watching my videos. The people who have been looking for Jesus have been watching my videos. They knew it was me, and they've been watching me for years before YouTube. And they did not, they wasn't going to come to my rescue fully until it was time for Jesus to be completely rescued. Now, I've had people look after me, and I didn't know that they were looking after me. I thought that it was just random people just helping me because I was a good person in spirit. But really, it was both ways. I said, well, why didn't you just come and get me out of that household if you knew I was Jesus, Um, and why didn't you just save me from right then and there, you know? And they had to allow Jesus to naturally come. And Beyonce made a song called Ego, and it was coded for me, and I didn't know that. He's got a big ego, such a huge ego, blah, 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 blah. I love his big K. They could have saved me, but I had a big ego to stay in my mother's house and finish school, the Confederate system. You see, I had a big ego to think that I needed that instead of escaping from all of that and finishing something else. I had a big ego like that. Then Alicia Keys came out with a song, and of course Jay-Z, the Blueprint. They were looking for Jesus. Some people had no idea what they were talking about. They were looking for Jesus. Then Kanye West has a song called Mercy, and I talked about that in one of my videos. Talked about revelations in the Bible. Alicia Keys came up with a song called Girl on Fire, but it was really a reference to a boy, which is me. You look at the lyrics, and it is what it is. It does mean that a woman who is single and has a child and doing everything by herself, and she's doing everything that a mother can do, and should do, and some things that Amanda is supposed to do, but she's doing everything and she looks really good. And when you see her, you stop and stare, and if you look her in the eyes, it may burn you because it's like you're looking into fire, because it's real truth when you're looking in a person's eyes. This girl is walking on fire. You think she's got a man, you think she's got someone to love her at home, but she's coming home every day alone. That's me. And the people in the music industry was decoding everything, and I had no idea. But every time someone would make a song like that, I would love it. It would be something that I would really like, and just like Michael liked it, a lot of R&B and soul music. He knew who was a good artist. I had the same feeling. I love Luther. I love, Anita Baker, Sade, Beyonce. Um, you know, a lot of the good people who make music, I like them. I've always been a music person, and that's been my escape in a world like we have been living in. It's been music. That's what kept me. God speaking through the music to get to me, and plus God automatically having a way for me to be influenced by His Holy Spirit that is within me. That has always been within me. So another thing is that when they were looking for Michael, they knew that they had to look for an image. Well, excuse me, when they were looking for Jesus, if they were finding Jesus, they knew that they had to look for images of someone who resembled Michael, because in the book of Enoch and in Egypt, they had to look for someone who resembled Michael, and there would be a second Michael, the Michael Jackson, and then there would be another part of Michael. That's why he has a song called "It's Just Another Part of Me." That part, he was already into studying those type of things, because Michael went to school years ago. Even though he was into the music industry, he took a break and still went to school and studied this, and found out that there would be another part of him. And when there is another part of him, that was going to be history, because he was going to be able to change a lot of things. He was going to be the God that the world needs. And I can take credit, but I'm not going to take full credit, because the people who helped me find who I am, they get a lot of the credit for not giving up, and for being educated enough to study to find who Michael was, because I resemble Michael by the way I speak, my hands, my long arms, and the shape of my head when it's bald. If you look at my videos in the back, you'll be able to see from my past videos. And I cut my hair 5 years ago, and it was because I wanted a new style. I wanted a new look. I liked the way I looked it with a bald head. I learned to love it. And then Solange came out with a song called "Don't Touch My Hair," and it was code for me. Truly, I didn't want anyone to touch my hair. And not only because of that, she made she made that song for another reason, but it was to code for me. It was code for me, for Jesus and returning. People giving out images and different, um, details about, what to expect. So they had to put the code in the music. Really, your hair is like antennas, and your hair connects with the other gods, and the sun provides a signal to your body, and your body provides a signal to other things out there to attract attention to you, that is healing, but also a form of protection. And just like in the Bible, hair was a protection for a certain individual and for many people. And even though I had other reasons why I cut my hair, Not because I just didn't want random people just touching it, but it was because I was trying to figure out which hairstyle to have, because I've had a dread fade, I've had a regular fade, I've had a regular haircut, I've had a all type of hairstyles, and then I just decided to cut my hair off, and I was actually up against my brother, one of my brothers, who was a type of person who would flaunt his hair everywhere, and he would always comment about my hair and always ask about what I'm going to do, and would think that his hair was better than mine. And I'm like, hair is hair, and it was no reason for him to act like he had better hair than me because we had the same mother, and it was just so weird. I'm half black and Cherokee Indian because my grandmother is full-blooded Indian, and then her father, which was my grandfather, is a Cherokee Indian, but my mother is a regular African American, but her mother, of course, is a Indian, so it was kind of both like that. And then my other brother, his mother, which is my mom, was mixed, plus he had white in his family from his father, his great great grandparents' side, my other brother. So, but he was just a very like jealous person, and anything that I would do, he would try to make fun of, and it would just like, why are you making just fun of just me, and I'm not even a person that would make fun of anybody. He was just that type of person. But now I've decoded his name, and his name is Rick, and that is a name that is not good. Rick is not a good name. Um, it's decoded for different things. My other brother name is Charles, and that name's decoded. My name is Christopher Christ, so that's Christ. So that was the return of Jesus Christ, and everything was coded. I also put photos of myself in bondage on my Facebook, and you can see where I felt like it was code for me feeling like I was in bondage. And when I was, and then on my cover photo, not my cover, on my, yes, not my profile picture, but my cover photo on my Facebook, I'm sitting on a bench with a bike helmet on, but my arms is over a bench, and that's the shape of a cross. Then I have the dome of the Capitol building resemble of control, power, president. It was just there. Everything was just there. And that they were looking for, the people who were looking for, who've always been studying, the return of Jesus Christ and when he will arrive, they had found it, and it was me, and I had no idea, and it blew my mind away. It blew my mind away. And another reason why people are saying that, I was almost erased from history, they say, but I wasn't going to be erased from history. That's my whole purpose of creating an account on and trying to be on social media, and being not trying to be, I was on social media for years for people to know who I am. So there was no reason for someone to try to not, to go over me and not try to help me when I posted myself on social media. And you can clearly see that my profile is different from everyone else, my pictures and everything. So the person that was trying to stop me from moving forward was the Confederate system, and at the end of the day, it's a white person. It was the white people. I'm sorry, it was them. Because a black person would have literally, who was in the gospel, would have literally just helped me. Or I guess color, you know what? Color doesn't have anything to do with it now. Or it does, because, a melanated person would have got the whole entire world under control. So it was white supremacy, but Jesus was coming back, and he was here the entire time, and Jesus had never left. But Jesus came back in 1992, but he was founded in 2009, 2008, Janet Jackson released Discipline. And even Janet Jackson had music also that was giving people the gospel about um, no prejudice, no bigotry, no racism in her music. But she had to catch people's attention, so she had to, cause see, the world did not want anyone to just give the gospel. They wanted people to give out music that was related to what the world was clarifying or classifying as, good and normal, which was sex, because that was the biggest thing selling. But many people were getting hurt over sex, and she had to do something by using black magic, or what they say, Lovecraft, like any other artist. And she had to put music in her, sex in her music to get people's attention, to get more people's attention. But people should be more attended to gospel, but because of the white supremacy and the Confederate system, they had to be creative and use Lovecraft and get people's attention to give them the gospel. And people think Lovecraft is witchcraft and blah blah blah. It's a craft that we and other people use to get freedom, because the Confederate system has taken the freedom out. And so now we have to be crafting ways to gain freedom, to gain what we need, because they've taken it out. But what they've taken out is going to heal the world. So a lot of women, they make sexual albums to get people's attention, and then they give you the gospel. You see? And it's a shame it has to be like that. But it's very informative, and it worked. But at the same time, sexuality is a good thing. And Janet Jackson did a very good job. In 2008, around 2008, they saw me on the internet, and for some reason, I was told to go to King's Dominion, and someone in the music industry lured me in and got one of my family members from Washington, D.C. to take me to King's Dominion, and Chris Brown, Rihanna were there. But it was them to see me for the first time so they can see if it was the real Michael. Because the real Michael was, or if it was a resemblance of Michael, because the resemblance of Michael would be Jesus. And I went into King's Dominion in 2008 for the first time, got on a roller coaster ride, and before I got on the roller coaster, it was me and my brother Charles. Before we got on the roller coaster, it was our turn next, but they stopped everything, and everybody was yelling and screaming. And I'm like, what happened? What's going on? They were like, I don't know. I guess somebody's here. Somebody's famous is here. The next thing you know, Chris Brown, Rihanna came, and they got on the roller coaster. Rihanna had on a dress, and she had that pixie cut hairstyle, and Chris Brown had on a beater with some army fatigue pants, some baggy pants with the pockets in the side, and some boots. They were looking fly, both of them. And I was so excited, because I was like, yes, yes. I said, Chris, Rihanna, Rihanna. I wouldn't stop until she looked at me and saw me. And I wouldn't stop yelling at Chris until he looked at me and saw me. Like, I wouldn't. But put some light out here. I wouldn't stop doing that. So eventually they saw me, and I was so excited. Now my other brother, who wasn't just like me, he was very upset because I guess he felt like I embarrassed him. I was really small. I was like, it was 2008. I had to been like 13 years old, 14, but I've never I've never been out of the house unless I've been with the church, just going that far to go to King's Dominion to see someone who I've always watched and listened to their music. I was connected to music, so that made me feel very special. Because that was my way of escape, listening to the radio or listening to music, and knowing that Michael Jackson is a very musical person. I was too, and that was something that was able for other people to catch on to, that I was the real Michael. And hold up. I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna continue eating right now. um, but let me move that back over here. But now people are, really understanding this. Some people don't know that I'm Jesus, and the reason why I've been on YouTube for over a year now and haven't been monetized yet is because they don't want the entire world to know who I am just yet. And all I can do is try my best to continue to post my videos, and because that was going to be my escape. I mean, it is my escape. It was. They found a way to help me because they said, you know what, we've got enough information that this is really Michael and this is really Jesus, and we're going to help him and we're going to save him and we're going to look after him. But there's a specific time where I come out, and that is whenever the date is listed in the book of Enoch, it will come out. But right now they're doing something to where they're getting things under control because Jesus did say he would return. So I just want to let you all know that. Um, I've had, I was very surprised to hear this, and I am very happy because now I feel like I'm not living in a box. I'm not living in a hole. I'm not living, in this place where, no one can ever see me. And that was my whole purpose for getting on YouTube, for making a Facebook account, Instagram, or Twitter, getting myself out there. That was my whole purpose for doing that, because I felt like I was trapped in a world that wasn't giving African Americans enough opportunity to thrive, because everything was trying to charge you for certain things that should be free so that we can live our life. I felt like I was in slavery. So I had to leave out of there and continue going on YouTube full time and continue to be on social media to let the people of the world know who I am. And I had to leave my profile public so that people won't know that, I'm hiding anywhere. I wanted everyone to know who I was and who I am, so that I can get some help. And that was my manifestation. I said, no, I'm going to continue to post my videos. My videos, yes. I'm going to continue to post my pictures. I'm going to continue to write and share the things that I find interesting, my music. I'm going to continue to put the things that I really desire, and let the world know what I like and what I'm attracted to. And I'm going to let the world know by letting them see a public profile so everyone can know who I am. Because just in case I'm having a hard time doing things by myself, someone is going to see me and they're going to help me and give me something that I deserve, that's going to help me change myself for the rest of my life. Because I am the change, but someone was going to help me, and I needed to let the world see me by creating social media accounts. And that is pretty much it. So thank you all so much for watching. This is MJ's Blue Thriller, and I hope to see you on my Instagram. Check me out on Instagram at MJ's Blue Thriller, and become inspired with the gospel. See ya.